Welcome back to this dialogue. Houston, know it is for the whole show, education, elementary education. We have a wonderful guest from Lamprey Elementary School, and we're talking about facing us in urban public education, economic issues, the realities of all those things that are not really negatives, challenges, and how you deal with it, how you rise to the opportunity created by those challenges, how you just positive change, and you reach every child so that he or she is loved, nurtured, and lifted up so that she can produce to the fullest potential of an ability. That's really what we talked about. Unconditional love, a big part of that. But now attention and the time we have remaining to what needs to change. To change. What are those factors that impact on the delivery system of quality education product? And reality in a change-driven society, as Houston and HI is, changing from this minority students, which they're destiny more in HISD, the new unempowered majority, because HISD is 90.7% minority kids. Wherever you learn that, 183.7 is not a minority. The new unempowered majority, segmentism that go with minorities, patients that go with minorities, all the things that go with that term and come on. That's over. It doesn't, we're a city of all minorities. We have two minority groups to get a majority of any. So it's changed. The school's always segregated again. What does that mean for education? How do you think about it? How's pedagogy? How does it, everything that we do, teach each child? How do we teach individual and do that growth talk about for each individual child to really pull out of them the best that they have to give? It is all things that's involved in the system. So we're asking in this part of the show, what are those non-negotiables that change to be able to produce environment, issue of equity, Brown versus the Board of Education, back on the table again, had two documents, separate but equal, now that all equal everywhere you find them, the equity down to the chalk that's used, and as a parent get invoked. The second document, which was freedom of choice, my child to any school, knowing that all schools are equal, so then they don't send them, that the quality of education is going to be equal. Stuff, 2009, in many ways the same. So what are we going to do differently? Karen.
And I touched on this earlier, but I think things is and teachers. And teachers, I think it's so important that positive energy, that their students. We mentioned students. They pick up on energy, and teacher expectations. Students set high for themselves, and that's kind of think we might not see all.
It's this culture that has to be inculcated into a
I would say so. I agree. I know.
How do you get that kind of culture? You kind of when you in schools, you feel it. You walk in the door, you sense it, you feel it. It comes from everyone, from the top down. It comes from the productional leader of the campus, the teachers. It comes from even the janitors. Everybody is influenced by this culture. We are going to help produce whatever best kids on the planet.
Well, at our campus, I know, you see it in everybody. Failure not. I know that we all.
My answer to the question was, we're doing it. And that sounds rather.
But Pompous is good.
We've been nominated for a Blue Ribbon Award, for recipient of a Blue Ribbon Award.
Okay, now in the H state pecking order, your school is exemplary?
Exemplary.
It wasn't all, so y'all have really come.
This second year is an exemplary school. But I say Blue Ribbon. I mean, oh
yes, yeah.
And we're the only elementary school in the East we even been nominated for
the only school.
Right. And so I say that we're doing it. We are. And
who's the principal? Might as well give the props. Props. So the principal has a lot to do with environment.
Yes, leadership is very important. I'm very happy with our school.
I think my answer to that question was creating an environment where there are uses. Obviously, every one of our kids have issues they face at home, and the non-English speaking families. Now, once you get in the door, it's not an excuse. We know they're all dealing with. What at LAM doesn't matter. Once you're in the door, it's our job. That's what we're doing. That's what you're facing, education and teachers at our school.
Here, resonating with you, agreeing, because we need to take all off the table. I mean, for
Right.
instance, what percentage of your student body are free and reduced lunch and breakfast?
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
they're the new unempowerment. They're our future. They're our kids. Our future kids going to be paying, taking, preventing new serums and drugs. They're our future. Period.
That's not how they want to be identified.
No.
And they're just a kid. They just want to, and adults putting these things on them.
The labels got to go. The labels have to go.
It's terrible.
I think though, Kiran, if you've ever read Paulo Freire, and an important tenet in critical pedagogy is have to be able to name your environment. Accurately say,
Right.
this is not and use it as an crutch, but in naming then we know how help, what we can offer to supplement something that's not being offered at home. Next year, our principal spoke. He said that with some of the stimulus the schools are receiving, we are going to exactly understanding our environment. The students are lacking. We are targeting that. So though these statistics, I don't think should be crutches. I think they should enable us to focus our instruction, to focus our efforts. What is important? What is needed?
You know, you hit it on the head. We used to have all schools.
Right.
Band, drama, counselors. They're gone. That's gone. And particularly